Recent statistics show a growing trend in grandparents raising their grandchildren. To help ease the burden of caregiving, Council on Aging offers support groups for these families. Here to share her experiences as a primary caregiver for her grandchildren is Felicia Habersham, participant of Council on Aging's Grandparents Raising Grandchildren Support Group. Good morning, Felicia. I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we just had you on Channel 3 News, and you're pretty much a rock star, so I had to have you on our show.
Well, thank you.
But first things first, and I like to do that with all of our guests, is tell us a little bit about yourself and who you are and what you're here to talk about.
Well, my name is Felicia Habersham. I'm 51. I am a grandmother who adopted my grandchildren, and I'm here to talk about that, actually, with you.
Absolutely. So what we do know, and kind of what spurred this whole news coverage and everything, was that there seems to be a rising trend in grandparents raising their grandchildren. And I know not every story is the same, and you can't really speak, kind of a blanket generic, comment over that. Mm-hmm. But from your personal experience, what do you feel is the reason behind that?
I think a lot of it has to do with, there's a lot more mental illness coming into light today than there was back, when I was little. Mm-hmm. And grandparents really have been raising or helping to raise their grandchildren for years. They just haven't had to take on the primary role mm-hmm. of taking care of their children as much as they have here recently. And like I said, I think it has a lot to do with mental illness possibly, or just a lot of our young people don't understand what it really means to take care of another person.
Sure.
So they're very disconnected. And I don't know if that has a lot to do with the video games or the internet, but it's a lot more disconnect mm-hmm. than it was when I was younger.
Right.
So.
Well, and I think it's hard to know, I'm sure, going into parenting what all that's going to entail. I mean, sometimes I'm like, can I even take care of my dog? Because it is a lot of work to be a little bit selfless and think about something or somebody else before yourself. And so that is a significant undertaking. And so it's pretty great because you're actually on here to tell us about your personal experience, and to what extent you feel comfortable. Will you share with us kind of what you've been through, and tell us about your grandkids, who are adorable, by the way.
Well, I call them my second chance kids, and that is because each of us came from different areas and became one family. I have 4 older children that are my bio children, and then I have 2 heart children, which are my grandchildren or my second chance children. Actually, my daughter actually was put in protective custody, and when she was in protective custody, I decided I've got to go mm-hmm. to Missouri and be there for her. And while she was there, I started fostering her, and lo and behold, my son Carter came, and they pretty much so said, "Oh, just take her, and we're going to adopt him out." And I was like, "No. If I'm going to get her, I want him as well. Mm-hmm. We're going to be together." I believe in a family unit. And if it just takes me, a mother, being the family unit mm-hmm. for them, as long as they're in the family,
right.
That's all that matters to me at this point. And we've become a team. We're a team. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I always have to reiterate, especially to my 5-year-old Carter. He's 5 now. He was only a month old when I got him.
Wow. And so you're basically all he's ever known.
Yeah, I'm all he's ever known. If anyone else was to come up and say, "Oh, well, by the way, I'm your, mom," he'd be like, "Oh, no, that's mm-hmm. my mom over there." So, and wow. he realizes that I am his heart mommy. So I make sure that they're aware of that, mm-hmm.
So what, and we've talked a lot about this. You're in school, and you're making steps to, again, just help improve their quality of life. So tell us a little bit about that, some things that you've been doing.
Well, I went through a 23-year marriage to a military person, and I helped them get their college degree. Actually, they ended up getting 2 master's degrees, and I was pretty much so taking care of the family and working just to help supplement his income. So now I feel that since I've become a single parent, it's very important for me to show my children that they need an education.
Sure.
Education is so important, and a lot of us, especially me, I didn't realize how important it was until I got older. So I went back to school at 50, and I did start a surgical tech program. And so now I'm just trying to just get out there and be able to take care of them and also show them that
Sure.
it's never too late to go back and get a degree.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. So, you know, you're very active in Council on Aging's Grandparents Raising Grandchildren support group, which, you know, to be honest, you know, as part of the admin side of things at Council on Aging, I don't get to see the impact all the time that these support groups have on families. Tell us about your participation and how it's made a difference in your life.
Well, I absolutely love the group. We meet and we actually share a lot of information and help each other out, you know, because this is not an easy task for a young person, let alone someone that's aging.
Sure.
We're dealing with a lot of technology, and a lot of us are not computer savvy, so they have information that people that come in from the educational point of view of Escambia County School and give us the information or give us resources that we may need to help our children in those areas that we may fall short in. So
I'm sure raising children today is much more challenging than it was even when I was growing up because of the added technology and the access to stuff that maybe they shouldn't be watching or being involved in. So are you getting any kind of information in those support groups about how to kind of deal with that?
Yes, I always made a practice with my children. We watch very limited amount of television. They do have Kindles. I really advocate reader. Let's read. Let's do activities. I take them to museums. I try and get them really culturally and also want them involved in the community and doing things.
That's awesome.
Know? And so we participate in the parades and stuff like that because I want them to be out there, and like I told you before, I want them to be givers more than takers because there's so many people out there that just want to take, you know, and we need more givers out there.
Well, and it sounds like, Felicia, that you're doing a phenomenal job. I mean, you really are, and I appreciate you so much sharing your story. I think this is going to make a significant difference for some people that maybe are feeling like kind of alone in this process. And so thank you again for joining us. We're unfortunately going to have to wrap it up. But again, I just would encourage folks to get involved in that support group. We have a couple going on in our community, and they can find out about that on our website or call the Council on Aging office. But thank you again, Felicia. We really, really do appreciate you.
Thank you.